right, you welcome back to the second segment of our program today, the Call of Faith. Now we are on the second segment of the program. Like I said, we're going to be talking about issues on the home, on the family. And like I do mention here to recall, your family is part and parcel of our security architecture. You know, those who have failed this nation are those who gave birth to children who later became bandits, who later became Boko Haram, who later became the bad element, the kidnappers, because they have failed our nation. How did they fail our nation? They gave birth to children without taking care of those children. And those children grew to be part and parcel of the challenges, security challenges our nation had to deal with at this point in time. That means that 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 30 years ago, when you gave birth to these children, if you had taken your time to take care of these children today, they aren't going to become bandits, they aren't going to become terrorists, they aren't going to become kidnappers, they're going to become governors, they're going to become Mr. President, they're going to become ministers. Hey, guy, did you know that ministers and the governors and the Mr. President and all these had parents? Just like you gave birth to your own children, and your children, because you failed in your responsibilities, these children have turned to become bandits. How on earth can you do this to our nation? I want you to rise up. Respected listeners far and near, let us rise up to these onerous challenges, and we can correct this present. If we can correct the present, then it shows that the future is going to be a better one for us all. So it means that if you give birth to a child now, if your child is 1 year old, 2 year old, 3 years old, 5 years old, or what have you, take care of that child now, because you never can tell what that child is going to be tomorrow. Let it not be that because of your own failure, that child is going to end up to become the next bandit or the next terrorist, the next Boko Haram, the next kidnapper, or what have you that we're going to deal with as part and parcel of our security challenge in the future. I use this to welcome you all to this segment of our program. Today, we're going to be, last week we had a challenge with some of the networks. So we're going to have a wrapping up of the session we started last week on love in marriages, and I'm going to put a poster to you, and I would want their listeners far and near to please let us try to take a look at this today. When you talk about love in marriage, are you talking about mere platitudes, or you mean real action? Because when you talk about love in marriage, we discussed last week on Friday that we said, if you love your wife, if you love your husband, say it out that you love the person. And we're trying to glean from the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he says that if you love somebody, tell him that you love him. If you love somebody, tell him that you love him. Now, should couples be embarrassed whenever they call themselves and say, darling, I love you, in a public place? Should you be embarrassed? How can you tell me? You don't get shame, and you don't get shame. You know the shame. How can you tell me that you love me? Hey, is it anything to be ashamed of because you told your wife or you told your husband, oh my baby, I love you, or darling, I love you, whether on phone or on real time? And I think it is not out of place. And that's where I stand, especially when you are able to back up your claim with action, with positive action. If you check out in the Quran, chapter 24, chapter 24, and then chapter 30, God tells us about how important love is, when God gave a nexus between love and mercy. And then he says, وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. God says he has put in between the couples mawadda, love, and rahma, and mercy, which means that when you love somebody, you are kind to that person. When you love somebody, you treat the person well, you are always around the person, you always pay attention to the needs of the person. Whenever the need arises for the person to be taken care of, or in whatever way, you're always there to see to the need of that person being taken care of. That is what love means. Now, however, when we say we love our wives and we love our husband, we need to understand that this love has to be genuine, respectful, and it should align with our partner's love language and communication style. You need to understand your partner's love language. You need to understand your partner's communication style. When you tell the person I love you, and sometimes you tell the person you love him or her by using some code. That's what you're talking about, communication style. It could be that the person, whenever you raise your biro like this, what I'm saying is that, darling, I love you, man. Easy use the biro up. I understand what it means, My wife understands what it means. Others may not understand what it means, but I've expressed myself. I said it, right? It's coded, but then it has been decoded by the person who should decode what it means. Sometimes you can use some numerics, some numericals or some alphanumerics to identify what you love, or ABCD1. When you say ABCD1, your wife knows what it means. Your husband knows what it means. ABCD1 means I love you, my baby, or I love you, my darling. That means you understand what you're talking about, and your partner also understands what you're talking about. Furthermore, in saying this, consideration should be given or could be given to individuals' dynamics and cultural background. And it is at this point we're going to open the phone lines. If you want to join us on this segment, please feel free to call our mobile on 070-7242-6258. 070-7242-6258. We're talking about being able to understand what it means for you to tell your partner that you love him and how strong it could be. Now, let me tell you this: love is very powerful, and that is why in every relationship, we're going to call here. Hello, sir. I think we just missed that call. Okay, let's keep the call coming. 070-7242-6258. 070-7242-6258. Culturally, some people may not really like that you tell them that you love them in the public glare. That is culture. But of course, nothing in Islam says you can't tell your wife that you love him or you love her, or you can't tell your husband that you love him. Nothing in Islam says that. I'm going to give you an example after this call. Okay, we just missed the call again. I think. Okay. Hello. Hello, sir. Hello, can you hear us? Hello, you're live. Okay, please call back. I hope the network is going to be good today. Okay, we got another call here. Hello. Hello. I think we have a network challenge again today. All right, let's keep trying. 070-7242-6258. I'm talking about the cultural consideration, giving room to our cultural background or what have you. It's fine if you want to give consideration to that. Maybe your partner doesn't like it, or you feel that when you are before some set of people, the person may not really like you to express it publicly. Then you can give a code. You're right. You can give a code which could be understood by your partner, as you said. Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Can we meet you where you're calling from, please? You're welcome, sir. You're welcome, sir. Yeah, we can hear you. Speak on, please.
Okay. Where are the?
Okay, I think the caller may call back. Okay, so giving room to cultural consideration, that person may not really like it that you tell him or her. Maybe the presence of some elders in the family, maybe in the presence of the parents, or maybe in the presence of some friends or what have you. Okay, fine, it's fine. But the example I want to give you is the example of Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he was with one of his wives, and it was in the masjid. The Prophet was on i'tikaf in the masjid, and the wife came to say hi to him. So getting dark, it was in the dark, and the Prophet was with his wife, and they were two alone, and they were so close. And two of the companions of the Prophet were passing by. They saw the Prophet and they saw a woman, but they didn't know who that woman was. So the two of them just, they paced out, man. They quickly ran, and the Prophet called them back, and he said, "You guys come back here, come back right here." And he told them, "Hello."
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
How are you? How are you doing?
I'm fine, sir. May we meet you and where you're calling from, sir?
I'm Joseph Barnabas. I'm calling from Kwani.
You're welcome, sir.
Yes, I'm enjoying the program, but I'm not yet married. So,
Wow.
yes, I'm celebrating my birthday today.
Congratulations. Why are you not married, if I may ask you?
I'm preparing maybe April.
April next year?
Yes, yes, sir.
Wow. I wish you all the best in your marital experience. I wish you all the
Thank you.
best. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for calling. Okay, fine. So, and he called them back and he said, "You guys come right here." You know, why would not they go? We're gonna come here. And he told them, "Okay, this is me. You know me, and this is my wife." And they said, "No, no, 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 no." Oh yeah, so like, no, no. They say, "Yes, I know, no, no, no." But you need to understand that blood flows in the. I mean, blood flows in the body of man. I mean, the devil moves in the body of man just like blood flows through their veins, so that negative thoughts will not come into your mind. Now, the lesson here is this: the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he didn't push his wife away. He didn't tell the wife, "Go, go, 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 go." Then they see her, then they see us. No, the woman stayed, and the Prophet stayed. It's my wife. So it's no shame in it, you know, that I'm staying with my wife, I'm working with my wife, I'm so close with my wife, and because of you, I'm going to push her away. No, it doesn't work out that way. So what I'm saying is that within this context, like you tell your wife you love her, or you tell your husband you love him on phone in the office, that everybody could hear, it's not bad. Especially like I mentioned, when the love is genuine and it is respectful, you know, you're not trying to fake it, and you can back up your love with action. Backing up your love with action here could mean that you're able to put to practice your claim. You know, you're able to put what you said you do have, the love you have for your partner, you're able to put it into practice. And we mentioned, a lot of this last week, how you can put your love, the love you have for your wife, into practice. You tell her you love her, you care for her. She's working, you assist her. And quite a number of men, having said that, quite a number of men, they behave like they were lords, you know, they were like kings. Their hands don't go if touch anything. You love your wife, you help her in the kitchen. Yes, you guys have house help. Waiting house help they do. Yes, that is, house help has his own place or her place. You as a husband supporting your wife, you have your place, right? Or your husband is doing something, you come around him and you, okay, let me assist you to do this and let's get this done and stuff like this. You have your place. Don't say, after all he has this, after all he has that. No, you have your own place too. So saying that you love your partner and following it up with action is very, very important. And we need to understand this. It's very important that you are able to back it up. And now somehow you look at, okay, so what? If I tell her that I love her and I follow it up with action, so what? So what happens is that if you follow it up with action, it shows and it means that love in the family is going to grow. It's going to grow bigger, it's going to get better, the home is going to be happier, and everybody's going to have a nice time. And let me quickly mention something here. You know, love is very powerful. And I like to quickly also delineate and separate between when you tell someone, because you can tell someone else that you love him or her, but you can't tell someone else apart from your partner that I am in love with you. So you might look at it as a matter of semantics, but semantics fine, but we need to contextualize what we're talking about. When you tell someone that I am in love with you, this is emotional here. You know, it goes beyond just the bounds of just something platonic, as it were. You know, basically, when you say I am in love with you, you can only say this to your wife, you can only say this to your husband. Okay, you can tell someone else, I love you, I love what you're doing, I love what you, like a male to a male or female to a female, as it were. But when you tell your wife, I love you or I'm in love with you, it creates more bond between the couple. And we should encourage this in the family. Now, there is a translation here. And the translation is this: if you tell your wife you love him, you tell your husband, you tell your wife you love her, you tell your husband you love him, you are able to translate this to positive action. It cascades. The trickle-down effect is that the children in the family, your children, they're going to be the direct recipient of this very, very happy entry day. Now, the entry day is that you have shown it, you're also backing it up with action. Your children will be happy with it. right? Every child in the family knows that dad and mom are very close, and they're going to have it at the back of their mind that, inshallah, when I grow up, I'm going to do the same thing to my wife. I'm going to do the same thing to my husband. This is the effect. Now, can you compare? Now, let me mention the phone line again. Perchance you have a call or a question or what of you. 070-7242-6258. 070-7242-6258. If you have a call or a question, please feel free to call up. Now, the bottom line is that can you compare children who are raised from homes that have this kind of effect, effect of love? Or let me say this, love infected, to use the word now. If the family is love infected, can you compare it to a family where hatred is raging? Are they comparable? No, they are not comparable. And that is it here. Now, when you have a family where the husband and the wife show themselves that they love themselves and they practice the same, the husband is always around the wife, helping and serving, and supporting, and the wife is always around the husband, helping and serving and supporting, the children will learn from this. They will learn from it. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, madam. May we meet you and where you're calling from, please?
I am from Akoko Extension.
You're welcome. You have a question?
I was listening to a message.
Fantastic.
You guys right now.
Yeah.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Okay, you don't understand what we're talking about, right?
Sir?
Do you understand the message or you want to ask a question? Hello?
I don't understand what you're saying. I need more understanding.
Okay, just keep listening. I'm going to try and reiterate some of the points. Just keep listening and then you're going to get it better, inshallah. Okay? Yeah, okay, keep listening.
Okay, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, caller. Thank you. So, what we're talking about is that if it is important for us to put, like the caller says she doesn't understand, sadly, we're talking about love in a relationship and the need for us to not only say it, but also to act it. You not only say that you love your partner, also act the same way that you love somebody, especially your wife, your husband. Tell him or her that you love him or you love her. It's just fair enough to do that. And if you can do that, then we know that the effect of that love infected family is that the children will be the beneficiary, the direct beneficiary. And I was trying to compare the home or the family where the couples, the husband and the wife, love themselves and they try to put that into practice constantly, watching over themselves and trying to be supportive of themselves. We're trying to compare these children to the family or the children from a family where hatred rages like fire. And we know they're not the same. And it's a simple fact that in a family where there is hatred, you cannot compare the same thing. You cannot compare that kind of a family with the family to the family where there is love. And we say that society, in fact, the home is going to be the direct recipient, because those children, they will also have a dream of translating such a feeling, such a supportive nature, such a nature that is altruistic. They want to pass the same baton to their own family. They want to do the same thing. They want to replicate the same thing. Now compare this to a family where there is hatred. Of course, hatred bears no good children. Everything hatred bears is bad. It leads to curses. Instead of family praying for themselves, they curse themselves. Instead of family staying together, they stay alone. Instead of family being harmonious, they are deadly. If I catch you, they are always brew. There is always food. There's always quarrel. There's always argument. Nobody wants to agree with the other person. Is that the kind of family you want to have? No. So we say the family that has the language of love, that communicates serenity, with happiness, that show that they love themselves, we cannot compare this family in no way to the family where hatred is the order of the day. If you have any further call, please feel free to call our studio line 070-7242-6258. 070-7242-6258. And if you want to send a text message, maybe after the program you have a question, you want to send a text message, you want to ask for the question after the program, you can please call 090-722-08098, 070-722-08098, and that will be after the program. Now, going forward, saying that I love you to your wife, saying that I love you to your husband brings joy, reassurance, and a validation of the relationship. How else can you validate your relationship if you don't tell your partner, your husband or your wife that you love them? How else can you validate such a relationship? The best way to validate your relationship is to tell your wife and do the same, to tell your husband and do the same, that you love him or you love her, as it were. You tell him, let's keep the call coming, 070-7242-6258. There is no better way to validate your relationship if you don't tell your wife, you don't tell your husband that you love. And some people feel that, no, this is looking too romantic, it's too... Why not, if not? So if it is romantic, so what's the problem with it? If it is romantic and I'm dealing with my wife and I'm dealing with my husband, so what's the headache here? So let it be. Hello?
Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon, madam. Can we meet you where you're calling from? Okay, we seem to be having some network challenges here again. Let's keep coming. 070-7242-6258. 070-7242-6258. So what's wrong with it? There is no better way to validate your relationship if you don't tell or translate what you say to action. So what's wrong if I show to people that it's not a matter of pretense here. It's real, it's genuine. And with that, to keep in mind that what we said earlier, that if that which you said is genuine, respectful, and aligns with your partner's love language or communication style, there's no harm in it. Right? And how better is it? If I'm not romantic to my wife, if I'm not romantic to my husband, so who am I going to be romantic to? Who am I going to be romantic with, or to, as it were? It is my partner. None else, brother. So that is why the validation of our relationship is only going to have effect. Hello, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
Can we meet you when you're calling from, sir?
My name is Moses. I'm calling from Central State.
You're welcome, sir.
Please, I want to ask what relationship and hello?
Yes, I'm with you. We're listening. Oh, okay. Yeah, try to call back. We missed that call again. 070-7242-6258. Okay, got a call. Another call here. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
How are you?
We're fine. Can we meet you, sir? Where you calling from?
I'm Mr. J.A. from.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
In fact, the topic you are breaking, I'm very happy about it.
Thank you.
I don't see any reason why one will not be romantic.
Absolutely.
Because from day one,
Yeah.
Bible categorically says in Genesis 2 down that a man will be with his house,
Yeah.
with his wife, and they became one.
Yeah.
And when they are naked, they go sleeping.
That's true.
With that illustration, with that standard order by God, whoever go outside of it is abomination.
Absolutely.
Then my own contribution as a man and as a husband, in fact, it is very interesting. if a husband and wife stay together, discuss everything together.
Yes.
From there, starting from salon to kitchen to bedroom, they are still living like a place, always living with the same. And that is the romantic that brings joy to the family.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And when that joy is there, you will see that there will no any secret with work there.
Absolutely.
And the things will move amicably.
That's true.
So my own little contribution is that I pray, if any man or a woman want to have a husband or wife, let there be a good understanding from the one.
Absolutely.
And when you have that understanding from the one, I for one, the name that the parents of my wife gave to her, when she came to my house, I changed her name to my own lovely name I gave to her.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that is secret. Therefore, even if our children or whoever gathers, these are the names I call her. So, and that is new husband and wife.
Absolutely.
So, I urge every man, except the woman behave otherwise, or even the man go contrary to that, let him or her send him to.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that beautiful, beautiful contribution. Thank you, sir. You know, like you just said it all, that we have to keep our relationship active and alive. And I like the part that you said that husband and wife should have their themselves, you know, being assisted in the kitchen or what have you, and this one will make it possible for them to be able to connect better, that whether at home, in the kitchen, or wherever, the support is always there. Can you please reduce the volume of your radio set or stay away from it? Can we meet you,
Hello.
sir? Hello, good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon, sir. Please, I want you to give me the number of the call you call after the program.
Okay, 090.
I'm calling anytime. 090.
Yes, 722
722
080
080
98 8. Yes, 090 722 080 98.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
090
Yes, please.
77
No, 722
77
722
722
080 98.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. Okay, now I like the point that our first caller made in terms of being supportive of your wife, and that whatever name you call your wife, she be like, you know, whatever name you call your husband, she be like, you know, it is a code between you. Not between you. The name. Hello, sir. Hello. Okay, Joe, we missed that call. The name the parents of your wife or your husband give to him or her, that one is different. The name you give is different. So you call your names and let them call their names. Is their daughter, is their son, that is them. This is my wife, this is my husband. So we have a kind of a new naming ceremony here, you know, and it's fantastic. It's so fantastic. So in all, it is important for us to try to live in a harmonious manner and be supportive. Like I mentioned, if we were to compare what love can do at home and what hatred can do at home, we discover that they are poles apart. Love is enlivening. As far as the family relationship is concerned, love is enlivening, and hatred is deadening. I mean, you can't love your wife less. You can't love your husband less. And you can't say you love your wife you love your husband, and you don't act the same way. And one thing about it is this: the more you say it, the more you like it. The more you say it, the more you are in tune with it. If you don't stop, because some people said, "Shebi, I don't marry. So which one be love, love, love?" No, you don't marry, yes, but let there be the resonance of the love. Let it continue to resonate. You need to resonate the love on and on, over and over, again and again. This is important for us to note and realize. So let love in a relationship be validated with our positive action. This is important for us to keep a home that is free of hatred and acrimony. Like I said earlier, we have a direct recipient of this kind of relationship. Who are the direct recipients? The direct recipient of these are the children. And that was the way we started this program. And we're going to also be wrapping up on this note. Bandits didn't drop from the blues. Boko Haram didn't fall from the sky. They are bad products of bad families, right? Because the families were not able to take care of these children, because they didn't show them love. They didn't show them care. They allowed the street to take care of their children. And you see it every day. It's quite embarrassing. You see children from morning till evening, they're holding bowls in their hands. You give them anything they eat. On the road, they are not even begging for money, they're just begging for food. And these are young children. You add 10 years, 20 years to the age of the children today, then we are having another resource base for bandits and kidnappers. Because the bandits and kidnappers today, they were just like them yesterday. And these guys roaming about in the street, on the traffic, on the road. And the question we ask ourselves is, where are their fathers? Where are their mothers? I mean, can you just do this to these children? And you're doing this not doing this to these children, you're doing this disservice to our nation. That is not fair. So please, my respected listeners far and near, let us try to bring love to our marriages, bring love to our relationship, because when we do this, not only will your family be happy with it, the society at large is going to be better for it. But when you do the contrary, and I like to sound this as an appeal, when you do the contrary, imagine what the society is going to look like 10 years to come, 20 years to come. With those children whom you have failed to train with love, kindness, and mercy. I mean, these guys don't understand anything about it. They don't have value for life. You want children who do not have value for life to respect your life. You want children, and some people say, okay, I don't got a problem. I've taken care of my own children. It's no problem with it. Now them sabi. No, not only them sabi. We all sabi, because these children that they have refused to take care of, they're going to become challenges to your own children whom you have taken care of. That is the sad thing here. You have taken care of your children. They have refused to take care of their own children. There are going to be problems to your own children later in life. So it becomes a problem to our society. So that means we all need to close ranks and call a spade, and tell the parents of these children, wake up to your responsibility, brother. Wake up to your responsibility, sister. This is your responsibility. You gotta do it. No one else can do it other than you. If you refuse to do it, it's not good enough, brother. It's not good enough. I pray for you, I myself, that the Almighty will keep us steadfast on the path of righteousness. At all time, we're going to be wrapping up the session today. If you want to call me after the program, please call 090-722-08098. 090-722-08098. I remain yours sincerely, Dr. Gidado Taufik Mikdad. Hope to see you again, inshallah, on Friday.
Lord, I'm calling.